Good afternoon, everybody. This is Captain Tinsley with Salty Abandon, and welcome back to the Salty Podcast, where it's always a great day to talk about sailing. This is episode 41, and before we begin into it, please smash that like button, subscribe, and feel free to ask a question or make a comment in the live chat on YouTube or Facebook. In this special episode, I'm thrilled to chat with Danish sailors Judy and Håkan Jacobsen, owners of a 2002 Island Packet 380 sailing yacht Touche. They have sailed all over the world, but we're going to focus on two destinations, Patagonia in South America and Svalbard in the Arctic Ocean, which is literally one extreme to the other. So without further delay, let's welcome Judy and Håkan. Okay, give me 1 second. We've had some technical difficulties here. All right, we got through it. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to add your name on there. So, all right, it's H-O...
Haakon.
K-O-N. Okay, see if this is correct.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Hayden actually spelled it out like it sounds to help me out. So, well, welcome. I appreciate you guys coming on. And okay, so just tell us a little bit where you're from. You're Danish.
Well,
And,
actually, I'm Danish, but Håkan is Norwegian.
Okay.
And we live in Denmark. Yeah, we've lived in Denmark for 27 or 28 years, something like that.
Okay. And how did Håkan get to Denmark?
Well, we met on a sailing boat as crew on a boat that was going to be sailed from France to Oslo in Norway. And didn't know each other before we got on the boat, got to know each other pretty well on the boat. And 3 months later, we bought our first boat together.
Okay. And when was that?
That was in
95.
Okay. All right. And what was that boat?
That was a Halbarati 26, so 26 foot.
Okay.
The one we sailed on was Gypsy something.
Okay. And so I'm pulling up some pictures here so we can show what your current boat is. And I had to, like I said, I had some technical difficulties, so I got to pull that back up. But I'm about to get it up here. All right. Here we go.
So
it's coming.
But let me just insert. So actually, when we bought that first boat, Håkan was still living in Norway, and I was living in Denmark. And a year later, we married, and a year after that, we actually moved in together.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, congratulations.
That's a long time ago, though. There's a beautiful Touche.
Yes, Touche, and this is a 2002 Island Packet 380.
That's correct.
Okay. And I believe this is your boat here on the right?
No, on the left.
On the left, right here?
Yeah, we have that. Yeah. We have that sort of light in that picture. It looks light blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is you right here?
That's correct. Next one up, 380 in Scotland.
And did you? I thought I saw something on your Facebook about what's the name of that boat?
Jenny B.
Okay. All right. And is this your boat in Svalbard?
In Svalbard.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about that. That is amazing. Okay. So we're going to talk about how you sailed up into the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah. So in that picture, it looks like we're almost anchored up next to the glacier, but we're not. We're like 500 meters away from it, as you should be. But it was just it's so clear the air up there, so that's why. So anyways, we were sailing up after we'd had the boat for some years and have been sailing in Scotland. We sailed up along the Norwegian coast. and all the way up to Tromsø, and then we crossed the Bering Sea. And Island Spirit says hello.
Yeah.
And
From Mexico.
so we sailed up to the Bering Sea, and then we it's about 500 nautical miles, 450, and then we get to the southern edge of Svalbard.
Okay. I'm going to pull up. I did have it queued up, but you know what happened? I'm going to pull up Google Maps because it is pretty amazing how far up north this is. And I had never heard of it.
A lot of people haven't.
I'm sure you're not surprised by that.
No.
So
So
but
this
it
archipelago,
is at the top of the globe.
yeah, it is. It's we went all the way up to 80 degrees north, which is only 600 nautical miles from the North Pole.
Amazing.
And the reason we can do that is because of the Gulf Stream. So because that little bit of the Gulf Stream, the same Gulf Stream that goes by Florida, and a little bit of that goes up along the Norwegian coast and up to Svalbard, and that's why you can even sail up there.
Okay. It's been a challenging technically here.
It's just
Nothing
too far.
like nothing like being live and having some things go wrong. Okay. Let's see if we can get this a clear picture here. Okay,
Yep.
that is Iceland right there. Okay, let's go to Denmark. And what part of Denmark? Are you on this coast or that coast?
No, the coast next to Sweden. You see where it says Copenhagen? To your right.
Over
yeah.
here.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You
it.
came-
That's a little bit north of
Okay.
that is where we live.
Okay, wow. Okay, so you came out here.
Actually, no. The boat has never been in Denmark. We bought it in England,
Okay.
along Scotland, and then sailed over to Norway.
Across the North Sea?
Yeah, of course. And then all the way up Norway.
All the way up here.
Yep. So about
And then
there.
here it is. I mean, let's just look at that. Wow. So here's Greenland, here's Iceland, and here it is.
Yep, that is.
This is the top of the world.
It is.
And
it is.
lots of ice, lots of snow.
Yep. And lots of polar bears, lots of walrus, and yeah. And not too many sailboats.
I guess not. So I'm kind of a warm weather sailor, and I'm just thinking, what is going on that you want to go up there?
Because it's incredibly beautiful, and I don't know. I just have a thing with ice and snow. I just really like it. I think, some people, they like to go to the Caribbean and they love the palm trees and the sandy beaches, and I do think they're nice, and I do enjoy the warm water. But there's nothing that makes my heart beat like seeing snow and ice and glaciers and stuff like that.
Okay, well, you're a true Scandinavian.
Yes, and
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Also, I like places that are not too overrun.
Okay, well, I think this is definitely because I zoomed in and tried to find like places, and there are cities on here, but they look kind of small, like towns, right?
No, there's only two small towns. One is Longyearbyen, which is sort of the main town with 2,000 people living.
And where's that?
It's further down. Yeah, in there to the right. Now up a little bit. Up.
Up here?
Yeah, you're close.
On the western coast, the fjord there.
The fjord. Now you went too far. So now it's in the middle of your picture.
Okay.
Where that fjord is. Up a little bit. No.
Here?
Yeah,
right in here?
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, right in there. That's Longyearbyen. That's 2,000 people live there. They say 2,000 people live there, 3,000 polar bears, and 4,000 snow scooters.
So what do these people do?
It used to be mining, now it's mostly tourism.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's just read a couple of comments here because you've got a lot of fans that are coming in here. I think I read you used to own a Malo or a Malo.
Yeah.
Malo
Malo
would be good.
Would be good to know how we selected the IP380. Well, the Malo was a 31.5-foot boat, and we kind of thought it was a little bit too small to cross the Atlantic and maybe to go up north. And so we wanted something a little bit bigger, and we specifically wanted a long keel boat, a full keel. And we wanted something newer than that Malo because that was pretty old. That was from 78 or something like that.
Right.
So we wanted something that was newer. And there aren't very many newer boat that has a full keel.
Right.
So Island Jacket was one of them. And once we found that, then we decided to go look for it. And we actually decided on an IP370. But then when we were around looking, we also looked at the 380, the Touche. And we fell head over heels, and we just had to get that boat.
And was that the name of the boat?
Touche was the name of the boat, and we liked the name, so we kept it.
Okay.
So the way it went was that we had decided we were going to not buy a new boat until we had sold the old one. Absolutely, no buying until we sold the old one. But we can look a little bit, right? You see how that is going?
Oh, you didn't sell it?
No, we went on Touche, and then it was like, wow. We were both thinking, how do I tell the other that we don't have it? And then the broker, he said to us, he said, well, so what do you think? And we're trying to play cool. Yeah, it's okay. We need to go back to the hotel and think about it.
Let's chat about it.
Yeah, and then he said, that's okay, but I just want you to know that there's somebody coming tomorrow to look at it. We'll take it.
I'm a real estate agent, so I know how that works.
Actually, we met a guy next day who came and was really sure that we got it ahead of him. So there was
it was true. Okay.
It was true.
So Richard Kaufman says hello from Rock Hall, Panacea 380 123.
Yeah.
And of course, Hayden and Radine, Ice, Ice, Ice. Maybe they meant Ice, Ice, Baby. Judith and say your name again. Håkan. Okay, I got it. Are so brave. Okay.
But not really. We are very careful. We investigate very, very carefully before we go. We read all about it. We look at maps. We talk to other sailors who's been there.
Get the local knowledge.
Yeah, we don't just jump into it. I mean, we do research. What did happen with Svalbard was that we went up there and was there for 5-6 weeks. That's about as long as you can be, because then the ice starts coming in. And when we came back to Tromsø, I said, we got to go there again. And we went one more time the next year.
So, Håkan, how do you feel about it?
Oh, it's very, very exciting going up there.
You like it as much as she does?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys are perfect for each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Svalbard is way up north of Norway. Yep, above Norway. And then Hayden says, "How are you so brave to go to such remote areas?"
So, like I'm saying, we're not really brave. Maybe we're just crazy, actually.
Maybe. Sailors are a little bit crazy.
I think it's brave to go across the Indian Ocean, which I would find very boring.
I find that very brave, especially in the northern Indian Ocean.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even go near that.
Yeah.
But the only thing that was, well, one of the things that was very brave about going to Svalbard is there are a lot of polar bears. And you have to watch out for them. And they say for every polar bear you see, there'll be many polar bears seeing you. And you don't want to cross a polar bear.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't know anything about polar bears. What, are they dangerous? They're like regular bears?
They're very dangerous.
you have to carry a gun all the time.
Yeah. You have to carry a rifle with you at all times to go ashore
Okay.
so that you can defend yourself. But you're not allowed to shoot it unless you're actually in danger. And
Okay.
you will be in danger. If he sees you, he'll think, nice food. If he sees you in your boat, he'll think, oh, food that's all packaged.
Okay, so Jesse says, thanks for the background. Your ventures are so impressive. And Mark Lawrence, greetings from Tides In 380 132 in Yorktown, Virginia.
Hi, Mark.
Yes, you've got lots of fans.
So we I don't think we're brave. It's just that we like these places enough that we will actually go there.
I
don't know
admire that.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it a lot. I sail by myself most of the time, and I just love that, and
Yeah.
people say, oh, you go by yourself? And I realize how many people can't be by themselves. But I guess we're kind of a different breed, sailors are. But you
Yeah.
guys definitely are.
Maybe. Maybe.
All right. I did come up with a few questions. So you told us your route and what inspired you to sail there. How did you prepare your Island Packet 380 for harsh Arctic conditions?
That was kind of funny because what we did was we installed a heater and we had a cockpit enclosure made so we could
Smart.
close the enclosure, and that was about it. And I can sort of tell you a really funny story. When we were in Miami in 2015, we were doing I was doing a talk at the boat show, and we were doing
Nice.
a sort of seminar where, what's his name again?
Um,
Oh, Hayden knows. Hayden, what's the name of that guy? Famous
Speak up,
guy.
Hayden. What's the name of the guy? It was in Miami, right?
Famous guy. The one who writes all the books about where to go in the world and all this.
Okay.
He's
He'll know
Romanian.
who that is. He'll know who it is. He'll chime in here
but-
any second.
So anyway, so we are me and this famous guy, which is totally famous. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be on the board with him. And then this couple, and so people asked us what we had done with the boats, and of course, Jimmy Cornell. So Jimmy
Okay.
Cornell says you can't go anywhere into the north unless you have an aluminum boat. You have to have an aluminum boat, otherwise it's not possible. And the other couple, they said they had a wooden boat, and they actually put they encased it in carbon against the ice.
Kevlar.
And Kevlar, yeah. And then when they got to us, we said, well, we put in a heater.
And you didn't do any of these things that they were saying.
No.
And you just made sure that you didn't hit any icebergs, right?
That we tried to make sure we didn't hit any icebergs.
Did you hit any?
We had a very long stick that when we got too close to them, we would push them away.
Okay,
yeah.
so
We got close to
Mike Wack, who's local here in Orange Beach, he says modifications to the diesel.
No.
And how cold did it get there?
Down to about 5 Celsius, I would say. Maybe one day we had just around freezing, so 32 Fahrenheit. But actually, most days we had like maybe from, I'm guessing a little 38 and then to 84 or something. No, not to 84 often. We had one day with 84. But most days would be 15 degrees Celsius. Do you remember what that is, Fahrenheit? I forget. But anyway, so it's like a cool day, but it was actually nice, and we had a lot of sunny weather. We had a lot of wind.
It's up all the time.
Yeah, you got to remember this. The sun is up 24 hours a day.
I saw that.
So you don't. We for 2.5 months we didn't see a sunset.
So what's that like? Did you get tired?
In the beginning, we would have dinners at 1 a.m. in the morning. But then after a while, we sort of tried to get into the time of it, and we did okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jimmy Cornell and Beth Leonard.
Yeah.
And Mike says, does the diesel engine have glow plugs?
No.
No,
So you didn't do anything special with
No.
the with the diesel. There
no.
you go, Mike.
Just
They
go ahead.
they it's just a good engine.
Yeah, it is. It is a good engine.
Oh, Ray Dean's chiming in now.
Yeah, thank you.
Jimmy
Wendy.
Cornell. Okay, so
Yeah, so all we did was install a heater and put in that enclosure. And we actually did that when we were going to Scotland because Scotland can get pretty cold too.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the North Sea rough?
Yeah.
My relatives went on it years ago and they talked about everybody got sick except for my grandmother.
Well,
So-
I got, but Håkon, he's pretty strong. I get seasick sometimes. And the first time we went to Svalbard, I got seasick. The second time we went, we had almost no wind all the way up there. It's really weird.
Okay. Now, if you take a Dramamine ahead of time, does that help you?
No, the only thing that really helps me is the patch, and only
Okay.
half.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Kevlar reinforced is what Radine's saying.
So
You know what-
do you know how I found out how the patch helps? When we were going back the first time, we got in some really crappy waves. We had wind over tide, and so I was seasick. My niece, who was with us at the time, was seasick. Håkon was not seasick. So we decided to go into Bear Island. It's called.
I got to look for that.
So that's actually about 2/3 of the way up there. So we go in there. There's this anchorage, which is beautiful. It was like a mill pond, and we had been out in. I'm not exaggerating. 7-meter waves, really big waves.
Oh, that's like 21 feet.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my
crazy. So anyway, so then we get a call from the Coast Guard, and they want to know if we're okay. Well, first they want to know who we are, and we're like, yeah, you can see that on AIS. But anyways, we tell them who we are, and they ask if we're okay, and we say, yeah, we're fine. We were seasick, but now we are in this wonderful anchorage, and we are not seasick anymore. And so, they kept asking, well, can we help you with something, or do you need something? Do you have enough food? Do you have enough water? And I'm like, yeah, we have enough food because two of us didn't eat very much the first 24 hours.
Not with those waves. Oh, goodness.
So then they keep asking. So, well, actually, we have a small problem. Our heater stopped working. And so we actually only had like 36 Fahrenheit in the cabin. I said, but we are fine. We have lots of blankets. We have lots of clothes. But that's the only thing that we're, if you don't mind, we could maybe send a technician or maybe we can fix it for you. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Come on.
Yeah.
So 3 guys from this boat comes over to us, and they brought a doctor with them because I'd said 2 of us were seasick. Now that doctor was more seasick than we were. He just sat staring out in the horizon going, yeah, okay, are you okay? He wasn't even looking at us.
Oh, no.
And so a technician who actually did fix the heater, so we got a little bit more heat out of it. And then the doctor told us about the patch. So that's how we found out. And it turned out that out where they were lying, they were waiting for some researchers to bring their stuff out to the boat. And where they were, their boat was rolling horribly. So they really wanted to help us in there in a nice mill pond.
Oh, sure. Well, my experience with the patch, it's the only time I got sick was using a patch. I think I was using too much. Like you said, you split yours.
Yeah.
You think
yeah.
that's the way to go? You're a doctor, right?
No, yeah, I have a PhD. I'm not a doctor.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I'm
that's still
in statistics.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good skill.
So anyway, yeah, so the one thing he said was we should be careful about that we might have hallucinations.
I've heard that. Someone that was on my boat talked about thinking somebody was, and it was the dinghy engine on the rail, and they thought it was a little person going like this.
Oh, I was reading a book that wasn't there.
Ah, oh my
And then, of
gosh.
course, he said, anybody starts acting strange, like they're seeing things, take their patch off. So for the rest of the trip, when anybody said anything remotely dumb, we would say, uh-oh, get the patch off, get the patch off.
Rip that thing off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me pull up the pictures again. All right, here we go. Okay. Do you remember where this was exactly?
Yeah, that's Fridtjof Glacier.
Okay.
And when we were there, now here's a story for the real sailors. When we were there the second time, our toilet hoses completely blocked.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no. So it was okay, are we going to be sitting on a bucket on the rest of the way back to the mainland? Or, but
Yeah.
we actually managed to fix it a little bit.
Oh, you guys are pretty handy.
You have to be.
Yes. That's why I don't go to remote places, because I'm not a mechanic.
Oh, we're mechanics. We can do some things. Let's see what videos.
Okay, so this is Svalbard. I know I'm not saying it right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is a video. I did put a link to this video in the description in case anybody wants to go back. But it was really cold when you were there. Like, it looks cold here, but is this about what it looked like when you were there?
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. So yeah.
That looks like a prison.
Um,
What is that?
there is a Russian town up there called Barentsburg.
Uh-huh.
I think there's like 400, 800 people living, and that looks like just like you would think Russia looks, with very
I
tall,
see.
wrap buildings. But that is actually in Longyearbyen, this one. That's one of the hotels. There's hotels and everything, and restaurants, and a supermarket. You just have
Okay.
to you have to think about a down payment if you're gonna buy milk, because that's very expensive.
A down payment. Okay. So I think that yeah, was it you that said that tourism is really big there?
Yeah, because they're not doing so much with coals anymore, so now it's tourism.
And
Okay,
research.
so
And research, yeah, and
Nope.
and they don't want you to take the gun that you have to carry with you when you're going everywhere. They don't want you to take them into the store, so there'll usually be lockers in the beginning of the store where you can put your gun.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me bring that off. Okay, let
It's
me see.
it's probably the only place in the world where you can bring a gun into a bank.
Wow. Yeah, you can't even do that in the South here. Okay, so I read something in your social media. We're going north until the butter hardens, and we're going south until the butter melts.
Yeah.
So you like one extreme to the other.
Well, yeah, we like where the butter is hard most.
Yeah, it seems like you went through the hot part and got to cold part again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. But before we leave Svalbard, okay, we talked about modifications. You didn't make any. Any cultural, physical environment or check-in process, anything like that you want to talk about?
Well, you have to have a permission to go there. You have to ask for permission. You have to have a life raft on your boat. You have to have survival suits on your boat. You have to have the gun.
You have to have a gun.
If you go ashore, if you stay out at sea, you don't need a gun, and you don't need a gun actually in Longyearbyen proper. But anywhere else you go ashore, you must bring a gun.
Okay.
I guess they're tired of bringing bodies back. No, I don't know. It's just how it is.
Possibly. Yeah.
No,
Sounds like it. Any kind of cultural things that you want to talk about there?
It's well, that's actually a long story, but I mean, Svalbard, back in time in the 1500s, when it was actually found by Dutch whalers, that's also why it's also called Spitsbergen. When it was found by them, they hunted the whales to extinction, basically. And then once they didn't have any more whales, then they started trapping. Then people would go there, stay in a tiny little cabin for 9 months a year, usually the dark time of the year, and go hunting. Back then you could hunt polar bears and hunt
Foxes.
polar foxes and that kind of thing. And so that was, and then after that came the coal mining. So it was always a very rough place, very, very tough place with a lot of rough guys. And then, but then during the time they had the coaling, the digging for coal, they also had wives coming up and so forth. And then they realized they needed to have a few things. So there's a church there. There's a cinema, there's kindergartens, there's schools. Because nowadays it's families that lives there.
And is it Norwegian spoken there?
Norwegian and English, because there's
Okay.
so many different nationalities living there.
So it's a territory of Norway?
No, it's Norway has sovereignty over it. That means that in 1922, was it? Yeah, I think it was in 22. They made the Svalbard Treaty, both to decide who was to have sovereignty over them, because the Russians wanted it too, and also about, so everybody who signed the Svalbard Treaty can go there and live. You can go there and live. You're American, America signed the Svalbard Treaty. People from Afghanistan can go there and live because they signed the Svalbard Treaty. People
Wow.
from Denmark, lots of countries. And the only thing is you have to be completely self-reliant. There's no social security whatsoever. There's a tiny little hospital. And if you, for instance, are pregnant, you're sent back to the mainland 3 months before due date so that you'll give birth back there.
I see. They don't want any babies born there.
No. There has been a few born. And, Island Spirit, you should go there. You can fly up there. And it's nice. It's fun.
Would you fly there, Hayden and Radine?
Probably not. Then Cabo, they're down where it's warm.
All right, let's see. Anything okay, we talked about that. Did any of those experiences influence your approach to future sales in other extreme locations? Did you go there before you went to Patagonia?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And I think influenced in a way that we realized that if we could handle that, then we could also handle Patagonia.
Okay.
Patagonia was a wish for many years. We just had to get there.
And what was the big pull there?
Nature, glaciers, Cape Horn,
Ooh.
rounding the Cape Horn.
Is this where was this? You got boarded. U.S. Coast Guard.
Yeah, that's U.S. Coast Guard. That was in down just before we went through Oregon Inlet.
Okay. Was this a impromptu inspection?
They just decided to board us.
Everything went okay?
Oh yeah, they were nice. No problem.
Yeah, I've been boarded once. And where's this?
That is
Great picture.
Yeah, it's me and my kayak. I have a kayak on board. I don't know if you can see that red thing.
I do. I can see it.
Yeah. So and that's that little island that you can sail all through just before you come to Waterway Wells. I forget what it's called, but it's real neat. You can sail out right through it and right out to the other side.
You're talking about in South America, in Patagonia.
No. This is in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean. Oh,
Yeah,
what was the name of the island?
It's just north of Waterway Wells.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I really don't remember the name right this moment.
Okay. I bet you Hayden jumps in on that.
He will.
And where's this?
That I think. I recognize it, but I'm trying to think where it is.
It's a beautiful place. We'll just go with that.
Yeah. Oh, and this is also the Caribbean. That's near the glass window in Eleuthera.
Okay.
And that is Touche and SV, Texas, in the same anchorage.
Okay. And they're bringing you back.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's what
we have our dinghy. We had some problem with the dinghy when we were there.
That's beautiful.
It sure is. And that's I think that's also there. That's Spanish Wells, most likely.
Okay.
And that's Dominican Republic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a very nice place too. And I think this is when we were going to Galapagos. So everybody tells you that going to Galapagos is a piece of cake. It's downhill sailing, and it's just wonderful. We had the wind on the nose the entire way, nearly the entire way, and we had so much rain. I mean, it rained buckets.
And you were okay with that?
I mean, I like it better when it's sunshine, but I'm not that
Okay.
crazy. I'm not that crazy.
So I had to see exactly where Patagonia is. So I found this picture.
We are only
And
in the Chilean part. The
it's in,
Chilean part is a long, narrow one to the left.
yeah. Okay. So the Chile and then Argentina. And you went to this section over here. You
Yeah,
went,
only the Chilean. It's Chile and Argentina. They're not loving each other. Let's put
oh,
it that.
yeah. Okay. Well, and then I pulled up a picture. Okay. This is your route.
Yep, that's us going through the Panama Canal out to Galapagos. And what
Okay.
you can see on that big picture is that it was zigzag all the way to Galapagos. Then we had a fantastic sail from Galapagos to Easter Island where it was just straight. And then by some kind of sheer dumb luck, we got to stay 3 days on land in
Israel.
Easter Island because it was actually closed because it was still COVID.
Oh, okay. I did talk to some people that weren't able to land there, but they
I
did
know.
bring out some water and some food. One
Yes,
trip.
a lot of people were not allowed to land there. I don't know
Okay.
how we were given the permission. They asked us to maybe claim that we had to ask for humanitarian stay. And so since I had a bad knee, I brought that up, not thinking that would be enough, but that apparently and so we got to stay, but only for 72 hours. And they were very strict, 72 hours. And the hour they had been on our boat doing all the technical stuff, that was included in the 72 hours. And then after that, we had to promise that we would leave promptly, which was kind of a shame because we knew there was someone behind us that would have been nice to meet, but we had promised to leave after the 3 days, so we did. And then we went into Chile, into Valdivia. And that was, it was an okay sail. It wasn't as nice as from Galapagos to East Island because we had a little storm on the way, actually a couple. But it was okay.
Okay.
Because
And
now we're down near what they call the Roaring 40s.
oh boy.
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I've
Yep.
seen video. Hayden
Yeah,
says,
Stroud Key is the one where I kayaked all the way through in the Exumas.
okay. All right.
Beautiful.
We knew he'd come through.
Beautiful.
Okay, so you came down here and it looks like you made lots of different stops.
Yeah, first once we got down there, we were now, actually at that time, we were only allowed into Chile because we had been to Easter Island, because Chile was also closed. And then after that, we could go home for Christmas and then come back. And now we could sail our boat because our boat was already in Chile. So we did the northern part of Patagonia in our spring, their fall. And then we came back in their summer, our winter, to do the southern part to go all the way down south.
Okay. And these are the 5 different sections of Patagonia. So there's a big desert section.
Yeah, but
And
that's
it's
all.
a cold desert.
The desert section is all Argentina. We were only in the Chilean part.
Right. Okay. So there is a video here that kind of shows some. Let's see if I can get some. Well, I thought there was some. Here we go. Here we go. Look
Yeah.
at that.
That's why we went there. That ice you saw there, that's why we went there.
Yeah, I figured.
And see the one that says G de Penis? It means Gulf of the Penis. That actually means something like the Gulf of Pain, which it is, because when you pass there, it's really rough. It can be very rough weather. We went to that glacier, St. Raphael. We went there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, beautiful place.
You guys are You guys you're perfect to interview because you're something different.
But look at how beautiful it is. That place is so beautiful.
And again, this description or this link is in the description of this video if you want to go back and if anybody wants to go back and watch it. But this kind of shows.
Yeah, so this is the water in Chile, and what you see going out to the right, what you saw going out to the right is the Strait of Magellan.
Down here?
Yeah, we didn't want to go out that way because there's a very strong current.
Really?
Very few anchorages, and you don't get to go around Cape Horn.
Okay. Yeah, but a lot of people choose to do that, right?
No, actually, if they're saying they don't, because it's a really rough patch. It's much easier to sail through the Beagle Canal, in my opinion. Yeah.
Around the Horn?
Well, you don't have to go around. You don't have to go around the Horn. You can not go around the Horn. It just seems like when you're close, why not?
To say you did it. So I was told to ask you something specific.
Okay.
About your hike to Cape Horn Lighthouse.
Yeah. It's actually very rare that you get to go ashore because the water's there. And there's actually, I have a video from Cape Horn on YouTube. That would be maybe more interesting. But
I probably have that here.
Okay.
I downloaded a few of your videos.
Yeah, this is not it. So anyway, so what we had to do was that one person had to stay on board. That came to be Hogan, and then we had this Argentinian woman with us who lives in Puerto Williams. And so her and I went ashore, and that meant we had to take the dinghy in, and Hogan had to circle around. There's no place where you can anchor up. It's too many kelp, too much everything. And then so we went ashore and went up on top and went to go to the lighthouse and meet the lighthouse keeper. And that was just really, really special. We were there on the longest day of the year, which in that part of the world is December 22nd. So it was actually...
How long was that day?
It was sort of dark between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Sort of dark.
Sort of dark, yeah. It's
okay.
So let me ask you something. Where do you think Cape Horn is? If you took Cape Horn and flipped it up to the northern hemisphere, where do you think Cape Horn would be?
It's not that far from the Antarctica, right?
Yeah, but now you're flipping it up to... No, it's not that far. It's only 500 nautical miles from Antarctica.
Right.
So imagine you flip it up on the northern hemisphere.
I'm trying to think, is it the same distance as Svalbard? Svalbard. Is that what you're going to say?
Nope. It's
okay.
3 kilometers north of where we live in Copenhagen. because they don't have the Gulf Stream. So Antarctica is much bigger ice sheet. I mean, you can't even cross the Antarctic Circle. The Arctic Circle in Norway, lots of people live north of that.
Okay.
But when you come down, and because of the Gulf Stream. But if you go down south, there's no Gulf Stream. And so people basically can't live below 56 degrees south.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up. Because you're talking gibberish to me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean so.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just such a foreign topic to me.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people.
I will tell you, most people guess like Svalbard or Greenland or something. Nobody guessed that it's that close to where we live. See, there you have Cape Horn. There you have that little tip of the Antarctica. See how far it is from that tip to the
bottom of the world?
South Pole. I mean, it's a long way.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that distance is the same as where Denmark is to the North Pole. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So
the North
okay.
Pole and from Cape Horn to the South Pole, it's about the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go down there. There's, I mean, okay. Oh, he said, zoom into their route again. Okay, I will in just a second. He wants to see your route again.
Okay.
He doesn't know what he's asking here. It's going to take me a second. Share screen, window.
Yes.
A slight delay here when we're live. Okay. Let's see if I can get that up there. Okay. Share. There we go. Nope, that's not it.
No, that's just keep on.
I'll work on it, Hayden. Keep talking. Talk about Cape Horn.
Well, so anyways, it was just really, really special to come on shore and actually get to meet the lighthouse keeper and then after we did that, we were actually going to stay in some of these islands that are near Cape Horn and stay there overnight.
Is this these right here? These islands?
A little bit further down, closer to Cape Horn. Closer to Cape Horn. Cape Horn is on one little island. There's a bunch of little islands there.
Right.
See, it's a lot of islands. So we wanted to go and stay in some of those anchorages. But when we looked at the weather, we could see that if we did that, we might have to stay there the next week.
Okay. You didn't want to get stuck.
The weather would be completely crap.
Right.
There is a lot of wind down there. The most wind was
that's what I hear.
The most wind we were in was 80 knots. But going to the Horn Sunday sail. I mean, going to the Horn was a beautiful, beautiful sail. We saw dolphins, we saw penguins, we saw whales. It was a gorgeous sail.
Did you come through here?
Yeah.
Right through here. Guys, I think your video, wasn't that Puerto Williams? Williams? Okay.
Yep.
Hayden's paying attention here. So you came down here and then you came up. Did you go around this way?
Yeah, after that, we went back to Puerto Williams and stayed for a few more days because now
Christmas and New Year's.
we went for Christmas and New Year's in Puerto Williams.
Okay.
And then we wanted to go to the Falkland Islands.
Okay, and that's over this way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where.
This is called the Staten Island, which is actually funny. And then out there is the Falkland Islands.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Amazing.
That's British.
Very, very, very windy. Extremely windy.
More than Cape Horn?
Oh yeah. We like I said, we had a Sunday sail to Cape Horn. Up there, we had 60 knots at one point. And at one point, we had 40 knot against us and 3 knots currents with us. And that was pretty bad.
Okay, so even I'm saying, were you scared? Everybody always asks me that.
Not scared. Our island packet is it's like a tank. We've never been scared in it. We've been uncomfortable, yes, but we've never been scared.
So, Hayden, we kind of said this. How far south were you?
So it was about 55 degrees south.
It wasn't as far north as you were. But it's still pretty far south.
Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't come and visit this over here.
No, we wanted to go to Antarctica. That was originally our plan. But we realized when we got down there that only being 2 on board, and also maybe the heater was not that good. And it does very cold down there. And the Drake Passage is one of the worst passages in the world. So we decided that maybe we could do it, but we didn't want to take the chance. We didn't feel.
You guys are awesome.
Well, we're crazy, but not that crazy.
And you have family worrying about you?
No.
No kids?
Yes, I have a son, but he wouldn't worry about me.
Okay. He just thinks you're Superwoman.
No, it's a different story.
Okay. All right. I won't ask. So after the Falklands.
See, after we go to the Falklands, we can't go to Argentina because they think the Falklands should be theirs and it's not.
Okay.
So we sailed up to Uruguay. That was an 1,100-mile trip.
Wow.
up to Uruguay. Not Montevideo, but close to Montevideo.
Okay.
So that was one
And
long to avoid going to Argentina.
now, so you didn't go to Argentina. So just a little bit about Chile and
Yeah.
Patagonia. What can you tell us that people should know? What should people know about it? About for boating, for going on shore, the whole bit.
Okay, some places it's very hard to go ashore because so few people go there.
Uh-huh.
I will say, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to hold this up.
Okay.
This
All right.
is called the Bible, the Blue Bible, the Italian Bible. This book,
Oh.
as you can see, is very thick.
Right.
It's written by 2 Italians, and that's a pilot book for Patagonia. And you need to have that. You must have that. That's where
What's the name of the book again?
Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego, Nautical Guide.
Tierra del Fuego. Okay.
Which means land of fire. It got that name when Joshua Slocum, he sailed through alone around the world.
Right.
And there was a lot of fires on land that he saw all the time from the Indians who lived there. And so therefore he called it Land of Fire.
Okay.
So you must have that to sail. And that has just about every anchorage described how to get there. And when you're in an anchorage there, what you do is you find a place among some trees that are very narrow. Then you back in, put your anchor down, and then you take up to 4 ropes across to different points of shore, so that you're really tied in, like both 2 in the back and 2 in the front.
Okay.
And that's what you have to do, because you get these willy wars, which is when the wind comes down off the hills. And if they hit your boat, I mean, we were in a very, very well protected anchorage, and we actually did have those 80 knots. And so at one point it was like, okay, hold on to your food, because
you guys are tough.
yeah.
I mean, you're equally tough.
I think so.
How well matched are you guys?
No, you are very safe, and you are all the lines on land.
Yeah. You can't go anywhere.
In addition to the anchor.
You guys are tough. You are.
It was nice. I mean, it was annoying that your food is almost landing in your lap.
So it's beautiful. It's cold.
And it's very, very, very remote. We sailed for 2.5 months, and we met 2 other sailboats.
Oh my gosh.
And we met only some people in a very small village called Puerto Eden. Right a little bit after we went across Gulf of the Penis, and then we went to Gulf of the Pains, the Pain of Gulf, the Gulf of Pain, and then we did sidetrack. We went sort of off track and went into Puerto Natales, which is an actual town.
I don't know where that is, but
yeah, it would be too hard to point.
Okay.
Yeah. You can look it up. So Puerto Natales is very close to a national park. Excuse me, I have hiccups. Very close to a national park called Torres del Paine. And we wanted to see that. So that's why we sailed. It was 80 miles in and 80 miles back out to the fjords again.
Okay, so these 2 anchorages that you gave me, are those in Patagonia?
Yes, and you wouldn't find them on Google.
Okay, well, what's the closest town? Because people want to know what the closest piece of land.
You honestly, you can't find it in Google. What you have to do is you can.
Well, is it up here or is it down here?
No,
or is it
way down?
way down?
One is yes, yeah, I want to point, but I can't do that. And take your arrow, go up and to the left, left, more left, more left, more left, more left. That's one of them around there. Stop. Around there somewhere, that's a beautiful anchorage called Caleta Midnight. What's it called? Caleta Midnight Shadow. That was a beautiful place.
Is this all pretty calm right in here?
And sometimes.
So- and what did you love about it?
Yeah, if you go a little bit south there, try to go slowly a little bit south. See that, and then go a little bit left. Stay where you are. Go a little bit left. In there. See how protected that is in there?
Yes.
So something like that. It's not that, but something like that.
And these are big mountains?
Yeah, with snow on them most of the time.
Okay, so this must have been beautiful.
Oh, it was gorgeous. So if people go in and look at our map on Predict Wind, I actually make little notes for every place. So you can actually find a note about Caleta Midnight Shadow.
Okay, I did download a video that you had on there. I don't know if it did have Predict Wind at the beginning of the video. Is that what you're talking about, or is that something different?
No, I think that's just my track I'm talking about, the track that we have on Predict Wind.
Okay. All right. Well, so how long did you stay in Patagonia, like this whole section?
So we started in Puerto Montt on October 8th, and we arrived Puerto Williams at December 13th.
Okay.
And then we actually went on land, and we rented a car and drove around on the island and saw a little bit of that, and walked up in the mountains and just sort of relaxed a bit, had beautiful weather. And then we were waiting for a weather window to go to the Horn. And then when we came back from that, we went back and waited for a weather window for the Falkland Islands.
Okay. And we got a couple questions here. How about charts for Chile? Are they valid?
We used Navionics on our iPad, and I know some people think we are even more nuts for that, but that's all we used.
And it was accurate?
It was beautiful. It was fine.
Okay.
The depths were weird sometimes.
Sometimes it was off.
A little bit, but you could tell. I mean, you only sail in the daytime. You're not allowed to sail at night. So you sail in the daytime. And so you can see everything. And so you can also see, okay, yeah, the map may say that I can go all the way over there, but there's actually land there. So you don't go there.
Yeah.
And one
That's the
place,
first thing.
it was only because we talked to ourselves, because the map said that it was like 0.5 meter deep, which is like half a yard. But then when we went there, it was 11 meters. And that was other sailors who told us, oh, yeah, you can go.
That's a big difference.
Don't worry about it. But, yeah.
Okay.
So-
And okay, Hayden says 1,100 miles. Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, that was Falkland Islands to Uruguay.
Oh, that was 1,100 miles. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So he says beyond tough, brave, 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 and they are Vikings.
We are.
Literally.
We can't help it. We are Vikings.
Hey, my grandfather was from Norway, so I got a little Viking in me too.
Now you can go to Patagonia.
Okay. I think I'll go by plane if you can do that.
You can actually go by cruise ship, but it's not as
Okay.
much.
I've never taken a cruise ship. I'm not a big fan, but is that the only way you can get there?
No,
If you don't take your own
you
boat?
can actually fly to Puerto Williams.
Okay. Because that's how people they fly there to get to Antarctica.
Yeah, quite often.
Okay.
Or Ushuaia in Argentina.
Okay.
And then you can
All
also fly to Puerto Montt. And there's actually a ferry that goes all the way from Puerto Montt and down to Punta Arenas, which is when you go out the canal. And I think it also goes down to Puerto Williams. So there's a ferry. I hear people get very seasick on it.
Yeah. It's not like one of those that goes across the North Sea where they kind of hover.
Hover?
Yeah. I thought my grandmother said that the ones they have now that go across the North Sea, no?
I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
never mind. Not good information, apparently.
But
Okay.
anyway, we don't have cruise ships either, but you can go with very small cruise ships with only a couple hundred people.
Okay. That's too
I
many, but
I still
okay.
prefer my boat.
Yeah, me too. So Uruguay. So tell us about that.
It was really just a stop on the way because you only get 3 months in Brazil, which is next country, which is a very, very long country with a very, very long coast.
So is Chile. So-
Yeah, but that's actually Brazil. I don't know. Yeah, it's long too, but yeah. So we just used Uruguay as a short stop, really, just to relax after the 1100. We had some diesel bug on the way to Uruguay, and we wanted to try and fix that, and then we went when we were ready to go up along the Brazil coast. Then we went there.
Okay. And so where did you go in Brazil?
We actually went more places than we thought we would because it turns out there's a group of Brazilian sailors that are very interested in making it safe for cruises.
Hmm.
So they have friends all along the coast, and you talk to them about where to go, and they tell you, no, don't go there, do go there. And we have a
Local
friend.
knowledge.
So we actually anchored up in the middle of Rio de Janeiro.
Oh.
I didn't even think I was going to go in there because it's, there's so much crime. But they said, if you go there and you stay with this guy and he'll look after your boat if you're ashore, he'll take care of you. Nobody will harm you because they know that he's there to take care of you. And we were totally fine.
So
No
where
problem.
were you in here?
In Rio de Janeiro?
Yeah. Like you went in.
We are not really much for big towns. So we went up to see the Christ statue, and we went up the Sugarloaf Mountain. And then
There's the statue.
the statue of Jesus where he's some God.
Oh yeah.
standing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't see this, but I'm looking at. Yeah, this right here.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so is this where you were with your boat? I see
Right
some boats.
there, right there. A little to the
Oh.
right, little to the right, little to the right. Right in that, see that beach there? Right there.
Yes.
That's right. That's,
Okay.
I mean, out by the boats, of course, but
Right.
that's just outside there. That could be our boat right there.
Okay. And how long were you there?
Just a few days. And then we just stopped at different places along the coast. We went to, and then we left the boat in Jacaré, which is, Brazil is like a corner. So we went there and left the boat in that corner, went home, and then came back and did an extra 3 months all the way up to the Caribbean. Well, first
Okay.
to what's it called? French Guyana, and then to Suriname, and then to Tobago.
Okay, Tobago. Okay, right here.
Right there. Yep. Tobago's out. Yep. Up
So
and
what
then
time of year was, by the time you got here, what time of year was it?
that was in December, and then we went home for Christmas and came back in January.
Okay. You didn't stay long.
Now
And so
we
then
always go home every so often because we have my son that we want to go home and see, and also we have always only sailed part-time. Part of the reason being that we are sailing in places where you can only sail in certain seasons.
right.
And part of the reason because we don't want to be too far from home, and we want to see my son, and that type of thing.
And then did you sail up through the Caribbean?
Then we sailed all the way up through the Caribbean.
And at some point you must have run into Island Spirit.
Yeah, we did in St. Martin.
Ah. Okay.
But it's funny, we have been in Patagonia and we met 2 other boats. And now we're in the Caribbean and we meet island packet after island packet after island packet. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're not as brave as you.
They're brave in different ways, I'm sure.
Sure. Okay. So how far where's the boat now?
The boat now is in Virginia, in Deltaville. and not doing too good at the moment.
Yeah, what happened? Like, you had a fire.
We had a fire, and we're still waiting for the fire specialist to come and say what caused the fire.
So you were not there.
Yes, we were, but we still don't know what caused it. So we're up in the Chesapeake area.
Okay.
So now we have to wait for this fire specialist to come and look at it, and then the insurance is gonna do their stuff. Thankfully, it was not lost. Thankfully, it was on land, and even thankfully, most of all, is that we were not hurt.
Right. Yeah. So thankfully, and it was, I guess I didn't put that picture in here. So you, did you, I know that I have
I see
lithium batteries, and I know some people were asking about that.
Yeah, I see the pictures is in the bottom row, all to the left. Bottom row. That's
There it is.
Yeah. But the thing is, we can't really answer anything until the fire specialist has been there. All we can see is that there are wires that are melted, and that it apparently happened in where the batteries are.
And did you say you have lithium?
Yeah, LiFePO. Lithium.
Okay.
They don't burn by themselves like batteries that are only lithium. They can burn by themselves. They can spontaneously combust. LiFePO doesn't do that. Something has to, and that's what they have to find out.
Okay. Yeah, I've got lithium. I have lithionics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of scary looking for me when I saw that.
Oh, that was super, super duper scary. I mean, the only good thing was, if that had happened at sea, that boat had been at the bottom, and hopefully we would have been in the raft.
Yeah.
So
hopefully you could have put it out.
So that was scary as hell, to say the least. There's Touche and SV Texas. We sort of buddy boated all the way from, let me think, where did we meet? Oh yeah, I know where we met. We met in the Bahamas. In that big town, not Hopetown, the other, Georgetown.
Chicken Town.
Yeah, so that was and lent us their spare outboard, which was great because by then our outboard has broken. And so we had a pretty rough time getting there. Had some really rough weather, and so we were a bit tired. So we get there and they say, "Oh, by the way, we've decided that we should go to Eleuthera because there's going to be a bunch of thunderstorms." I mean, I'm like, "Can we just sleep 4 hours?"
Oh yeah.
We slept 4 hours and then we sailed on to Eleuthera.
All right, so this is my kind of anchorage right here.
Yeah, that's Ocracoke. That's
that North Carolina.
Yeah, I really like that area. Also the Outer Banks and all that. That's a beautiful area. That other Oriental Anchorage, and that's where we went further up. We went out through the Oregon Inlet.
Wow.
Instead of going, originally we had actually wanted to go around Cape Hatteras, but we just kept getting northern winds, and we kept getting thunderstorms and all kinds of not so fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, what are your plans for the near future?
So when the boat is fixed, and next spring, we want to go up to Maine, and then after Maine we'll go to Nova Scotia, and then to Newfoundland.
Okay, so you're gonna, well, you got to get the boat back across.
No. Well, maybe we don't know that yet, but so far no. Nova Scotia and Newfoundland is on the same.
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and guess why we want to go to Newfoundland?
Why?
There's a lot of big icebergs that come down from.
Oh. Hayden, Radine, do you believe this? So he wanted me to bring this back up.
Yeah, but
so there it is.
Yeah, but see, when you look at the real map online, there are little dots, and when you press the dots, you can get my
right.
Try to press one of the dots. I don't know if it's a live map you have or if it's
No, it's a picture. I downloaded it from Facebook. You can get the coordinates.
You can get the coordinates. You can get my writing. I'm like would write something like glorious sail. We're having a great time. or
Okay.
bumpy today. Or the wind is a little bit strong. And
And do they find that on your Facebook page? Is that where they find it?
No. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
It's a predict wind link. So
Okay.
if you look at that little, you see where your little hand is. If you just go just a little bit down from that, see that little bend that is in that track. That's
Right
because
here?
we were trying to go around a storm there, or to get north of it. And so that's why it was quite bumpy. So at one point, we're both just going up and checking every 20 minutes. We met no boats on that trip at all.
This
None.
whole way.
None. Not even one. So, and if you look at marine traffic, there's no boats there. But so anyways, at that point, we are both lying in settees in the saloon. And whoever is on watch goes up every 20 minutes and look out. And so Håkon is lying on the lee side, right? Is it lee or is it? Yeah, where the boat goes down a little bit, right? No, he was lying on the windy side. So, so his bed was a little bit going like that. But we have lee cloth that he was lying behind fine, just like me. But so at one point there was a really big wave or something, and the boat did a jump. And so he actually levitated. And because he levitated, our lee cloth, we lie on them. That's how they stay put, right? So now that he levitated, when he came down like askew. So he landed on the floor. After that, he tied himself to the bunk.
Yeah. Did you hurt yourself?
No. It's not that far from the seats to the bunk.
Right. I have my boat's similar, but a little smaller. It's a 320.
Oh, that's a nice boat.
Yes. Well, gosh, this has been great. This is definitely the first time we've had this information on the Salty Podcast. So I really, really appreciate you guys coming on. Is there any questions that we have from the all your fans here? Anybody?
Can you see how many is on?
Well, right now we've got about 10 watching.
Okay.
At once, and they're between Facebook and YouTube.
All right. So you interviewed Kirsten Neuschaffer.
Yes.
Yeah. When she was doing her trip, she has a lot of friends in the Falkland Islands. So we actually left our boat there for a few months and flew home. Unfortunately, while we were home, she came by and she couldn't stop because she's not allowed to do that. She went almost into the harbor and then out again. So we could actually have sailed with her up through the ocean.
Oh my gosh. She's amazing, isn't she?
Oh, yes.
Did you watch that interview?
Yeah, and I also watched, when she was sailing, I was rooting for her, and I was watching every day, for news and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, she's just like you guys. I mean, that was the first race she chose that race to be her first race.
Yeah, but she's not like us. I mean, she's a whole different ballgame. I would never do what she's doing. Never.
Well, I think she's done with that. But I told her she needed to just get some modern equipment for that boat. She's having a hard time thinking about selling it. I'm like, don't, no. And just put some modern technology on it and just go around the world and go through the Panama Canal and just
stop in places. Don't go and
yes,
non-stop.
And she says she wants to do that. She wants to stop and that's half the fun right there, is meeting all the people and everything.
But she understands how it's hard for her to sell the boat, because just after the fire, we were worried that it would be written off. And just as about that boat that has gotten us everywhere we want to go, being written off, that was not a nice thought. That was not
I feel the same way about my boat. It's the only reason I got rid of my IP-27 was because the insurance company did. I finally just gave up because Hayden goes, just take the money and go get a bigger boat. And I was crying and everything, and I'm glad I did.
I would try. What happened? Did you have fire?
No, I had a hurricane.
Oh, hurricane, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the Alabama Gulf Coast. I don't know if you know where that is. It's
Yes, we do. We stay away from the hurricane zone.
yes, of course. But I live here.
Yeah,
And
you just had the Helene, right?
Helene came through. It luckily didn't hit. It was a little east of here, and then came another one,
Milton.
Milton, and that didn't come here. And I'm hoping we can make it till November 1st with nothing coming here. But every time we say, phew, then eventually we get one.
Well, also I'm thinking you guys all have November 1st. Someday a hurricane is gonna not know the date and come November 2nd.
There was I think it was, I know, yeah, a couple of years ago we were like, there were storms late in the season, maybe even after the 1st of November, and we were thinking, no, this has to end, no more. It was a heavy season, so
our insurance won't cover us if we're inside the box up till December 1st, not November 1st, December 1st. They won't cover us. You go there before December 1st, tough luck.
Well, in Virginia, you're kind of,
we're covered.
But you're not in the Caribbean.
No, we are covered. We are outside the box.
Okay. Oh, so don't rule out November, right? And December 1st. Yeah. But I can't, that's too long. I have to mentally say November 1st, and then we'll worry about November later.
Then you look at the weather for the first week of November, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me just show you a picture of my boat real quick. Okay. So let's see if I can get this in front. I'm going to take you. Well, how do I do this? Okay. There's my boat. Nope, that's background. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, I got all the stuff.
But it's a nice boat.
Oh, yeah. It's a 1998. It's in really good condition.
It looks beautiful.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you have Starlink?
Yeah, now we do. We just got it when we were in Dominican Republic. I don't know.
Isn't that nice?
Because I'm not really sure. It got a lot of water inside the tube, so we'll see.
Right. When did you get it?
We got it in March in the Dominican Republic.
Okay. Yeah. Did you get Gen 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Because now they're selling them here for $2.99 at West Marine. The Gen 3. I went ahead and updated to I had Gen 2.
Yeah.
And
I think we'll see what happens, because I'm not sure whether it survived all the water that was. Those fire people, they put a lot of water inside that boat.
Oh yeah, that's where the water came from.
Yeah. And after that, they put foam all over. Woohoo!
Right. Okay, so December 2nd in Antigua. And then Richard Kaufman says, so glad you're both safe after the fire. Hope to hear of Touche being back afloat soon. Hope you get to sail north in the spring. We may cross tracks at some point. Fair winds.
Thank you so much. I hope so too.
All right. So I'll be watching you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was Hayden and my husband. My husband follows you. He's Scott Myrick. I don't know if you've ever noticed him,
Yeah,
that's my husband. So he's been watching you a long time. And with that, I like to take us out by saying, Salty Abandon, out.